If I was asked to give somebody 2 moves for vibrant pelvic health, this would be my prescription. Now, of course, I'd want to be sure that they knew how to properly relax their pelvic floor muscles, knew where their pelvic floor muscles were, and also knew how to properly breathe for pelvic health. And I teach all of that in my Begin mini course. But assuming they know all of that, then these next 2 moves would be my prescription. They're amazing. So the 2 moves are blueberry mini squats and smoothie Kegels. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So if you want to follow along with me, let's do it. We're going to begin simply by gently kind of warming up our hips. So just move your hips around in little circles, lifting your heel off the floor and just circling your leg around. Let's actually lift the leg off the floor a couple of times, just circling the hip around, loosening up the hip joints right here. And then let's shake out the bottom and shake out the top and do a little hip circle each direction. We're just warming up. This is the first move. It's called blueberry picking mini squats. What you're gonna do is sit back with your bum, really sit back like you're sitting back into a chair behind you. And then as you come up, you are going to exhale and lift your pelvic floor. Feel as if you were picking up a blueberry with your pelvic floor muscles and plucking it off of a blueberry bush. I know that's weird, but it's a really fun visual. And what I want you to do is really imagine that every time you're sitting back toward a blueberry bush full of blueberries. You're having to relax your pelvic floor muscles that are at the base of your pelvis, right down here. The muscles that surround your vagina, your anus, these muscles, you are going to relax them as you sit back, open them up, and then as you stand, you're going to pluck a blueberry off the bush by squeezing and lifting your pelvic floor muscles and exhaling. So practice that. And I'm just gonna talk you through a little bit as you do some squats right now. So as you are sitting back into the squat, think about releasing the pelvic floor. Think about widening your sitting bones apart. Think about releasing and relaxing, opening the vagina, the anus, those areas there. Now, as you come up to stand, you want to exhale. The exhalation helps to activate the deep abs and the pelvic floor. It releases pressure on your pelvic floor. And so it's really easy for you to squeeze and lift those muscles as you exhale and come to a stand. You also are gonna feel your glutes. So your glutes, your abs, all of your hip muscles, they all work together with the pelvic floor. So when you sit back into your squat, you're gonna feel a release. And as you come up to stand and your pelvic floor activates as you pluck that blueberry, you're gonna also feel your glutes squeezing together and a gentle drawing in of your low belly as you exhale. So we inhale, get ready to pluck that blueberry. Now pluck the blueberry and stand up. Nice. Sit back, releasing the blueberry and also getting ready to pluck a new one. All right. That's all there is to it. So you squat back, release the pelvic floor, stand up, lift the pelvic floor, squeeze and lift the pelvic floor like you're plucking the blueberry. Next move. Before I continue with explaining this next exercise, I want to make sure you totally understand that there is so much more to pelvic health and healing than Kegel exercises. So please know, I am not saying that Kegels are the only way. And in fact, for some people, they're not even a great idea. However, the way I teach Kegels is with a strong focus on the release. So if you're worried about doing Kegel exercises because you've heard maybe they can be bad, then just know that the way I teach them and the way this exercise is going to show you Kegels is more about pelvic floor awareness and stimulating blood flow to the area and really about releasing and relaxing the pelvic muscles, not just tightening them up. Okay, so these are called smoothie Kegels. Now, what I want you to imagine is like you had a thick big smoothie straw, and you are going to suck the smoothie up the straw with your pelvic floor muscles. And the reason we're imagining a smoothie is because I want you to really give it a little bit of effort. You're having to really work a little hard to bring that thick smoothie up the straw, and it's gonna take a while. It doesn't happen instantly. You have to work hard to get that smoothie up the straw. You're gonna hold it as you're sucking that smoothie up the imaginary straw, and then the key is you are going to let that smoothie go back down the straw. You're gonna stop the sucking, the imaginary sucking, and you are going to relax your pelvic floor muscles. And imagine like the smoothie is going back down the straw and flowing back out into the cup. Again, I know it can be a really weird visualization for some people. You might be like, this is too weird for me, Bri, but it's so helpful to bring imagery, somatic imagery into your body, imagining certain scenarios and things you can relate to help you get the sensation in your body of what we're going for, which is an activation, a contraction of the pelvic floor, a squeeze and a lift, or even like a sucking up of the pelvic floor muscles, like your thick smoothie into the straw, and then a complete relax and release, like the smoothie coming down and out of the straw. Now, the reason I'm sitting on a little ball right here is not because you have to, but it can be helpful to bring a little bit of awareness to your pelvic floor muscles just by beginning on this squeaky ball. You can hear it squeaking probably. I'm not sure if my mic is picking it up, but it's kind of squeaking a little bit as I sit on it. It's just nice to gently roll out the pelvic area with a ball to bring blood flow to the area and a felt sense of the muscles we're trying to activate. So if you have a 9-inch-ish Pilates ball, an anti-burst ball of some sort, it can be really helpful. If you don't have a Pilates ball, you can also sit on like a rolled up towel or washcloth just to get a little bit of pressure in the pelvic floor area itself. Sitting up nice and tall, try not to hunch around. We always want to sit up tall. And again, just feel that area. It can also be helpful to do your Kegels on the ball. So inhaling, and as you exhale, think of sucking that smoothie up the straw. So smoothie Kegels, you're sucking it up. Keep sucking it up, sucking, slurping up the straw, and then fully relax. And imagine like the smoothie is flowing down and out of that thick straw, and you're totally relaxing, melting, softening, and opening your pelvic floor muscles. All right, that's all there is to it. You don't want to do too many, maybe 3 to 5 of these smoothie Kegels. I like to hold them for 5 to 10 seconds at the top and then release and relax where the smoothie is coming out of the straw, and you are really making sure you feel that relaxation. Now, you can do this also in standing if you're up for it. It's a little bit harder to do in standing or sitting than it is to do lying down. So if you have any type of weakness in your pelvic area, or if you know that you're just having a hard time feeling the sensation of the smoothie Kegel, then come onto your back and try it in a lying down position. You're gonna have to imagine your straw going this way toward your head. So you inhale to expand, exhale, and imagine like you're sucking the smoothie up the straw this way toward your head, sucking the smoothie up the straw, holding it, and then letting that pelvic floor muscle contraction relax, and imagining the smoothie going down and out of the straw as you open, relax, and melt those pelvic floor muscles. All right, that's all there is to it. I'm gonna come back onto my side, finish up with any stretches you want. I have a ton of videos on my YouTube channel that could help you stretch and relax, or maybe you wanna end with your hips up on a pillow or yoga blocks. So good for your pelvic floor. And just know that I offer online courses as well as in-person retreats and live events that are all about holistic pelvic wellness and really learning how to understand, trust, and love being in your body. So if you want to look for more ways to connect with me and also a jumpstart to pelvic health, check the video description for a link and resources, and I'll also put some information in the pinned comment. If you liked this video, please share it with a friend, and don't forget to do your blueberry picking squats and your smoothie Kegels every day. This is a great way to jumpstart your pelvic health and, of course, continue to look into ways to work with me. My programs and courses are an awesome way to really take things to the next level. Until next time, remember to eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter. Bye!